I'm going to be analyzing 7 skills by Mr. Jim Rohn, ones which he spoke about in his lectures that he had many decades ago and that he said changed his life forever. And it literally turned a new switch on in my brain. You should find a way to serve many people because service to many people leads to greatness. Organizing people together can be very, very challenging, but when you are able to successfully get it done, it can make the magic occur.
Welcome to the Glow Council, where we talk about everything personal development and business development.
So in my lifetime, I have heard many speakers tell us and talk about the types of skills that we should be learning in order for us to achieve success in our business and even personal life, since whatever affects our business life finds a way to affect our personal lives and vice versa. So in the midst of these, there is also a lot of talk about learning technical skills, especially in today's tech and AI-driven world. And you will find young men and women, scrambling all over to learn some of these skills. Sometimes paying top dollar for them to learn all of these skills. And please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it is not important to learn these types of skills or hard skills like they usually are called. But it's also as important, if not more important, to learn the soft skills that can and will change your life and bring you success forever. So as you can tell already, there are soft skills and there are hard skills. The hard skills are the technical skills. Generally those skills you learn in the 4 walls of our schools and in the educational system, while the soft skills are the so-called simple skills, such as communication, ability to inspire others, the art of selling, and so on and so forth. In my own opinion, though, I would submit to you that both hard and soft skills are important. If you can, and you should learn to have both. But I want you to always remember that the soft skills are like the core skills, while the hard skills are like the icing covering the cake that is the core. So if you don't get it yet, what I'm indirectly saying is that you must pay careful attention to the soft skills and pay attention to learning and practicing them in your personal and your business life journey. Well, today I'm going to be analyzing 7 skills by Mr. Jim Rohn, ones which he spoke about in his lectures that he had many decades ago and that he said changed his life forever. I remember, really coming across this tape years ago, and it literally turned a new switch on in my brain, which turned a new face on in my own life, and gave me a brand new life, really. So it's been itching inside me to share these skills with you, so that you can also begin to pay very close, attention to them, and inevitably change your life for the better, as well. Some of the skills Mr. Rohn has highlighted in his 7 skills lecture, are well, known to many of us, but I think some people are not able to connect it to how those skills can change their lives and bring them greatness. And this is why I'm doing this today, so that I can explain a little more on them and help you make some more sense out of these skills as we take them one after the other. But let me give you guys the tea here before we begin, really. So please come closer and listen. These skills we'll be discussing today are the skills some of your greatest founders, CEOs, politicians, speakers, these are the skills that have got them to where they are today. And let's not forget about coding, accounting, engineering, and all the technical stuff for a few minutes. We can forget about that, and let's discuss those soft skills that are the root cause of greatness and financial success. So let's dive in straight away while we watch the first clip and the first video.
Here's the first skill I learned to change my life: getting a customer, making a sale. If you share a unique product, talk about its merits, persuade someone that it's the best, they agree to buy, that's the simple art of sales. So we're not talking like high-powered spacecraft technical skills here. It's simply sharing something you've discovered with someone else and doing it well enough to where they agree they would like to participate. Now here's what happened when I learned sales. It multiplied my income by 5. Now it didn't take that much because I wasn't doing that well in farm country, but it did multiply my income by 5. Sales, getting customers, laying that incredible foundation for an entrepreneurial career.
Getting a customer and making a sale. This is the first skill mentioned here by Mr. Rohn. And in my view, arguably the most important of all, the skills anyone can learn if they truly want to become successful in their personal life and even in their business. Somebody will be pondering now that, oh, how does learning the skill of selling affect my personal life? And, what is Mr. Rohn and by extension, Babatunde really saying here? Well, let me break this down for you. Our life in itself is about selling ourselves and negotiations, right from when we are kids until we become adults and then we grow old, As a kid, you're always trying to sell your ideas and reason to your parents, why you want a toy or why you want a candy or, why you want to go out to the playground and so on and so forth. And some kids learn this skill of selling what they want to their parents so well that they almost more often than not will get whatever they want. And for those who have kids, I'm sure they would agree with me that kids are one of the best salespeople you will find. It's like so natural to them. So this is one angle, for us to look at it from. The other angle, is from the relationship, with your family, for example. Let's use your spouse, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, for example. The husband must be able to sell himself to the wife, and what I mean is that he must be able to sell his ideas of how things should be done in the home and for the family to his wife. And, this happens vice versa too. This is an ongoing process throughout the lifetime of their relationship, really. And it is just as important in your business and entrepreneurial journey. Your ability to sell your products and services, is the one fundamental factor that will determine if your business, will remain in existence or is going to die, due to no money because of lack of sales. Your ability to sell, whether, you're selling yourself, selling your ideas, selling your products, or your service will greatly determine and affect how things work for you. Like I said earlier, whether it's in your family or whether it's in your relationship or whether it's even in your business. So contrary to what some will say that, I don't know how to sell or I can't be in sales, if you do not even listen to the rest of this video and you only take this sales skill away today, you'll be surprised at the magic it can do to turn your life around. And the last point I want to mention on this skill of sales that we're talking about, isn't it interesting that some of the most financially successful people are very good at selling something? Just take a minute to ponder that for a while. Please let's get on to the next video. Okay, so that's the next skill.
Here's the next one I learned that changed me forever, and that's recruiting. Introducing the business opportunity to new people. Learning how to give a good invitation. Learning how to give two kinds of presentation, formal and informal. And the third part of recruiting, of course, is following up. Once you start a new life, now you got to take care of it, like a new mother would take care of her baby. You don't start a new life and abandon it. You start a new life and nourish it like a mother and protect it like a father. You got to be both mother and father to a new person. Nourishment, ideas like a mother. Protection, help defend your new life against the encroachment of outside voices that would try to talk them out of it. So you got to be mother and father in this art of recruiting. We call it being a sponsor. And being a sponsor is like being a bridge, helping somebody from darkness to light, from skeptic to faith, from not knowing to knowing, from no confidence in themselves to starting to gain confidence. You're the bridge that helps people from the shadows to the sunlight. It's one of the most exciting positions to occupy in all of network marketing industry.
Here, Mr. Rohn is talking about recruiting people, and I'll summarize what Mr. Rohn has just said in one sentence. Your ability to introduce what you are doing to many more people is one skill that is very vital and can make you loads of money. That's literally what he's saying there. So just hearing that alone, for me, is fascinating. Mr. Rohn is speaking about your ability to sell your vision and to pass across your message, to your customers, your team members, and those that are, working with you. You will continue to need people, all through the development life cycle of your business. You can imagine someone who does not have the skill, to bring people together. And I'm not talking about, the later stages in business where, you can hire a recruiting agency. I'm talking about you recruiting people you will work close with, that will work close with you all through your journey. These things, don't just happen automatically, and it's important that you, take cognizance of this. You must also be aware of the type of people you want with you. You must always think of how to make or help your people work together, and you must always continue to nourish them and protect them all through the time that they are with you. In addition, Mr. Rohn also mentioned that when you bring people into a business or into a new venture, for instance, it can be a major way in helping them to start making meaning out of their own life. And what this means is that now you have become a bridge that connects people from darkness to sunlight. And not just only connecting them, you also help them to cross that bridge, by organizing them, nourishing them, protecting them, and correcting them when they seem, to be going off track, for instance. So really, many times you see something, in these people before they can even see it in themselves. So part of nourishing them and guiding them, like Mr. Rohn was saying, is you continue to assure them that they can be more than they are by following through with their actions with a strong dedication. So the skill of recruiting people really is very essential. Recruiting may sound too technical, but it's simply your ability to bring people together, provide them a shared vision, then guide them and protect them as they walk through the paths of executing, this vision. And it doesn't just happen, like I said before. You must learn and pay attention to this skill for you to actually own it. So let's go on to the next clip now.
Unique philosophy taught first in the Bible. John Kennedy taught it in his inaugural speech. Zig Ziglar's got one of the best ways to put it. And that's the secret to wealth. The secret to wealth and fortune. First taught in the Bible. Because the question was asked, how can we achieve greatness, great wealth, great power, great influence, great recognition, great self-esteem? How can we achieve greatness? The master teacher was asked. And here was his formula for achieving personal greatness. He said, find a way to serve the many. For service to many leads to greatness. For those that are interested. Some people aren't interested, but for those that are, service to many leads to greatness.
What the speaker is really talking about is the secret to wealth and fortune. And he's tying that secret to the skill of being able to bring people together for a common vision. That's, the recruiting we just spoke about earlier. And then he says he heard his friend, Zig Ziglar, who is also a motivational speaker, say, and I quote, "If you help enough people get what they want, you can have everything that you want." Which, in my own view, is a statement that underpins the fundamental philosophy of greatness. Isn't it true that, the more impact and contributions you make in your society, the greater you will become? And who is the society really? The society is the people. So the more impact and contribution you make in people's lives, the greater you will become. And when you can actually help enough people get what they want and solve their problems, you will conveniently get everything that you also want too. I also have, to add, just like the speaker has said, that it is not as if something bad or terrible will happen to you if you choose to think about yourself alone and not worry about, helping others get what they want. All we are saying here is that we want you to know where you can get the solid advantages to become greater than you are and make, more impact. And as I wrap up speaking about this particular skill, the catchphrase that I want us to all remember here, even if, you don't remember any other things, on this video, is that you should find a way to serve many people, because service to many people leads to greatness. So when you serve a few people, you are paid accordingly. And when you serve many people, you're also paid, according to the service that you've rendered. So I would, let's get on to the next skill. I'm going to watch that video now before we analyze it again.
Next skill I learned that paid big money, organizing. Once you got a few, get them to work together, see, and that's magic. Getting people to work together is magic. Now, yes, it's challenging, like having some, several members of your family, getting them to work together is challenging, but it's magic. Getting husband and wife to work together is challenging, but it's magic when it happens. But everything magic is challenging. Just got to jot that down. Everything magic is challenging. But once you figure out the challenge and go for it, then the magic occurs. Let me tell you how magical people working together is. Let me quote the Bible again. It says, if 2 or 3 agree on a common purpose, nothing is impossible. Just try that on for your mental size. If 2 or 3 agree on a common purpose, nothing's impossible.
Again, these are, quite interesting. And in this last clip we just listened to, Mr. Rohn is speaking about the skill of organizing people together. If you notice, we are still speaking of, the soft skills, those skills that we can all learn, although we must know about them before we can begin to learn them, which is why I'm discussing them and bringing them, to our notice today. So organizing is simply, your ability to not only bring people together, but to also be able to coordinate them in such a manner that there is a seamless, efficient, and effective synergy amongst them. I'm sure, those who are in management know how important this skill is. And that is one of the reasons, the people in management, in many organizations get paid more, because they have to master this particular skill. And like the speaker said, organizing people together can be very, very challenging. This is not an easy task in any way. And hence the reason many avoid it. But when you are able to successfully get it done, it can make the magic occur. Just like the saying, that you heard, that when 2 or 3 people decide to come together for a common goal, you can bet that nothing is impossible. One of the major difficulty in organizing people to work together is that, people always have different opinions, different goals, and different ambitions, even in the family. But you have to also realize that it is absolutely possible to get people, many people for that matter, to work together. And this can be achieved, through steady communication and proper direction, and many more things I wouldn't want to go over here. So I'll stop here now on this skill, although I'm sure we may discuss some more on how to organize people to achieve a common purpose, in another video. So let's get on to the next clip, and then we'll talk about it again quickly. So thank you so much for joining me today once again. And to my Muslim brothers worldwide, I wish you all a happy Ramadan season. And do not forget to subscribe to this channel, the Blow Council, and our production company channel also, Bill Media. Don't forget to subscribe there too, so that you can get more insightful discussions and knowledge that have the power to change our lives for the best. I wish you a wonderful day, and God bless. Ciao.